Lucia Pollard has worked in London, Sydney, and Cape Town in film and television in various roles of administration, production, post-production, accounts, and news readings. After having her first child, decided to start her own photography business. Her photography portfolio includes school, landscape, corporate, event, and portrait photography for the last 25 years. Through her passion for people and upliftment, she recently started hosting women's networking events. She loves learning new things and believes there is always room for growth. Lucia Pollard, Through the Lens.
So what legacy are you leaving behind? Life can get so busy. I constantly feel like I'm rushing from one thing to the other without the thought of what I actually want to achieve. How many of you feel the same? Our goals are getting us more money, more recognition, and more pleasure. We seem to be stuck on daily routines, to-do lists, bills, and waiting for the next paycheck. I find that I can get so focused on what I'm currently busy with that I don't see the bigger picture. Ironically, I do photography as a career, so I constantly seem to be zoomed in areas of my life, hyper-focused, and not realizing that I need to step back. I'm so busy fixing, solving problems, and reacting to situations. So, what challenges are you dealing with? I find that is the challenges of your life stopping you from being the best version of who you can be. As Joyce Meyer says, you can be given a cactus, but you don't have to sit on it. I've had many challenges that I've needed to overcome in my life. And growing up, I always loved babies. And I couldn't wait to have my own family. So when I was told by doctors that I couldn't have children, it felt like my world had ended. We were living in Sydney, Australia, and we'd been trying for 5 years to have a child. I then went to see a natural healer, a herbalist, who said I needed to go on a course of herbs to detox and cleanse my body. It had been almost a year and still no baby. We then decided to go to South Africa on a holiday and see family. And I remember speaking to my mum about the challenges, the difficulties of infertility. I was so emotional. And she said to me, "Let's pray." She put her hands on my head, and I felt this overwhelming feel of warmth and peace as she prayed. And then later she said to me, "You're pregnant." And I was like in complete disbelief. And she said to me, "Where's your faith?" A month later, back in Sydney, I phoned her and I said, "I am pregnant." It was the most incredible joy that I felt. So we named our first son Matthew, which means gift from God. He was our little miracle. And since then, we've had another 3 little precious gifts. Altogether, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Actually, just joking. Matthew, Joshua, Nicole, and Hannah. Through an incredible act of faith, my journey as an entrepreneur started, and Little Angels Photography was created. Out of faith and a passion for finding the true light that shines within each of us. And so this takes me to a memory. When you do photography for a long time, you start observing people, and looking through the lens has taught me so much. I remember being in my studio and a family came to do photographs, and they had an autistic young teenage boy. And being in a new environment, he was starting to get nervous and agitated, and he started calling to his mum. And she just stepped up and she held his arms and she just started dancing and singing to him so naturally. and so beautiful. Just the natural, instinctive love of a mother. It is in that moment when we drop our guard that something beautiful happens. When we act out of pure love and authenticity, that we just radiate light. We just sparkle, something that every photographer looks for. And this takes me to a memory in lockdown when we couldn't leave the house and we decided to sit on the roof and watch the sunrise. It was so beautiful. The colors of the yellow and the orange and the warmth of the sun on my cheeks. The stillness of the morning. Realizing that life was out of our control. I think true growth happens when we get still. Because we know our purpose. It is already within us. But the busyness of life is just clouding that ability to hear the call from within. So what will you be remembered for? It is in the stillness of life when I got the greatest answers, in quiet prayer, in meditation. And one of the toughest times in life, there was so much wisdom and courage. It was a time to be still, a time of accepting. But now it is a time to act. Over the years of looking through the lens, I've learned so much. And so, with the life lessons I've learned, I've started hosting women's networking events. And it's been an incredible period of growth for me and of learning. And so in every goodie bag, I put a little card, a card of women who have done amazing things in their life. And so this is a reminder of what to inspire us. What will you be remembered for? Will it be that you were incredibly financially successful, that you were an amazing business person, or that you were just sexy and sassy and you could just get any guy or woman? Or will you be remembered for how you had impacted the world? Will you be remembered for your generosity, your care for people, your fight for human rights and dignity? Will you be remembered for your service, your exceptional care? So what are you going to be remembered for? So when one day when our children's children look back on those, and they're researching influential people that impacted life and had made a difference in the world, perhaps your name will be on the card. Live a life to be proud of. It's time to elevate our thinking, to think bigger. Because what legacy are you leaving behind? Because what we do today will impact our life tomorrow and what we will be remembered for. So what legacy are you leaving behind? Thank you.